give me a few seconds. I'm gonna do the audio thingy on my laptop and then we can get started, okay? Hold on. Yep, I'm ready. Let's do this. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel / my podcast. I am the Marketing Nomad. My name is Prithvi Madhukar. I am the author of 0 to 4 Figures and Self-Loved. I'm also a digital entrepreneur and a business owner. A few of the roles that I do take on: I'm a podcaster, YouTuber, Etsy shop owner, Skillshare teacher. All of the links are in the description box below if you would like to check it out. Welcome to episode 173 of Ask TMN, where I'm going to be sharing with you 30 online business ideas for you to start in the new year. And all of these can be started with less than $100. All right. Of course, I got to put a disclaimer out there. You can start these businesses with more, but I think that my aim with this podeo is to give you 30 ideas where you can start with a minimum budget for yourself, all right? Because when I started out, I was absolutely broke. I mean, that is the premise of my book, 0 to 4 Figures, Lessons Learned by a Broke CEO. I didn't have much money to begin with, but the 4 years that I've managed to build my business, what I can tell you is in certain areas of entrepreneurship, all right, you can actually make it to a steady and a stable business with very minimum budget. Okay, I'm choosing my words very, very carefully because one, I don't want to mislead anyone, but at the same time, I want to be able to inspire people to start their business even though they may not have that big of a bank balance at the moment of starting their business. All right, so I do want to tell you that it is possible. And I want to share 30 different ideas that I've picked up from friends of mine, all right? So each of the ideas that I'm sharing with you, I actually know someone who has gotten into that line of business at some point in their entrepreneurship journey. And all of them, most of them, because I've actually had really good conversations with each one of them, most of them did start out with a minimum budget, and that's how I was inspired to take on this podeo. All right, so I've got 30 of them, and I won't touch deeply into each because all of them come under the spectrum of online business or digital entrepreneurship. So all of them can be started online. And of course, the point of this podeo is minimum budget. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the 30 that I do have for you. And of course, if you find a favorite of yours, or if you feel that one of them aligns with the skills, the interest that you have, a passion that it may tap into, definitely let me know in the comment section. I would be very interested to know. But yeah, I guess my final thoughts with this podeo before we get into 30 that I do have for you is, make sure that whatever you choose, you're choosing something that aligns with your strengths, that you can kind of use it to work around your weaknesses, and basically let it be something that you are actually passionate about. Don't just pick something because someone else is doing it, so on and so forth. That never lasts long. And if you want to keep going, especially on this really, really risky and tough path of the entrepreneurial journey, I think that passion is very, very important. I really think that it factors in to the amount of motivation that you can feel throughout this journey, especially during the lows, all right? So that would be just my side pro tip. Like, don't do something because someone else is doing. Do it because you're genuinely passionate about it, genuinely want to make a difference. Entrepreneurship is fundamentally about making a difference to the people around you. That is the core of entrepreneurship. And so if any one of these ideas resonate with you, of course, let me know in the comment section. But I do want to say, these ideas, you can start with a bigger budget, but I just wanted to put it out there that these are also ideas that you can start with a low budget. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the 30 ideas that I do have for you. So I'm going to be looking down at my notes a lot because, well, I can't by heart 30 of them, all right? So I'm just going to keep looking at my notes a lot, but that's just between you and I, all right? Okay, so the first one is something that I started out with when I first began, and that is freelance writing. So I used to basically write blogs, articles for clients. I've written blog articles for real estate companies. I've written one for it was more of a tech company. So yeah, I mean, there are different spectrum of companies that you can write for. Just kind of identify, all right, these are the areas that I'm interested in. These are the areas that I can write about, and then move forward with that. I've even written for a company about Instagram, like, tips for Instagram, so on and so forth. So you can do it in any number of ways. You can choose areas that you are interested in or areas that you actually know stuff about, and go in for freelance writing. That, again, minimum budget for that, all right? And there are a lot of freelance platforms that you can put your profile on and find clients that way, or you can set up your own social media page and then keep sharing tips for companies that could potentially hire you, so on and so forth. Build up your rep as an industry expert. So this is something that I personally started out with. I don't do it anymore, but I did do it during the first 6 months of my entrepreneurship journey. All right. Okay, so that was number 1 for you, freelance writing. Number 2 is being a virtual assistant. I have actually 2 or 3 friends who I know who are virtual assistants. Basically, you can sit anywhere in the world and be able to help clients with any and all kinds of stuff, basically, because especially when we're talking about digital entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, most of our work is online. And so as a virtual assistant, you would be able to help us in that. It could even be simple tasks like uploading videos or, correcting things on the YouTube channel, maybe editing the description box or sharing the new YouTube video that's been released onto different platforms, maybe engaging with their followers or connecting with people through the DMs. There are a wide range of services that you can offer as a virtual assistant. There is absolutely no limit to that. All right, so that was number 2 for you, virtual assistant. Then of course we come to social media management. So of course, if you are interested in social media, you have a knack for it, you have a passion, you have a talent for it, I would say get into social media management. I would say start out by giving tips to business owners and solopreneurs who may want to hire you. Give social media tips. Establish yourself as a social media expert. I actually did this for the first year of my entrepreneurship journey, and I would solely give tips on Instagram. I would have an Instagram course. Of course, we're going to get into courses in just a little bit, but that's also something that you can do. So you can manage their social media platforms. I've actually done this for 3 companies. When I first started out, I managed their social media platforms, and as an extension of that, I also ran ads for them. So yes, it's gonna take you a little bit of I guess I would say digging into courses, digging into YouTube videos, digging into existing resources that are out there on the internet, and then just learn from it and implement it for the businesses that hire you. So social media management would be a good place for you to start if you've got, I guess, an interest in social media marketing. All right, so that was number 3 for you. Number 4 is graphic design, and I guess I've also done this during the beginning stages. I mean, I had Photoshop and Illustrator skills. So I have designed logos for companies. I've designed, I think, logos for 3 companies up until now. And then you can also design their social media posts. You can design their flyers. I've done that for 3 or 4 companies during the initial stages. Again, all of this, I think you need a subscription for Illustrator and Photoshop. All of that comes within $100 per month. I think it's about 30 at this moment. I'm not sure. I don't want to put a number out there because I guess it can increase, but the subscription for that. But what I'm saying is when you start out, you get your first client, the amount that you get for your services will help you continue that subscription. So I guess what I want to say is when you begin, it won't be more than $100. So of course, if you've got an interest in graphic design, I would say this is a really, really good area because this boils down to creativity, and people are looking for that with respect to logos. And one thing that I would tell you is putting out your talent on the internet might actually be helpful for you to get clients, like show off your designing skills. So for me in particular, I was more into Illustrator and Photoshop. I knew how to work them both, and then I was designing flyers, I was designing brochures, I've designed logos, all of those, and I earned quite a bit with each of them. I remember I did graphic design for this company in New Zealand, and I had to design their brochures. It was beautiful and it came out really well. And then I've also designed a brochure for a company on Long Island. It was a camp for kids. And so I had to design like a brochure for the kids and make it all lively and, very, very bright, so on and so forth. So understanding that is a key part of graphic design. And if you are into graphic designing, you would have prior knowledge of that. So yeah, that's also a great place for you to start with your skills, and yeah, minimum budget there too. All right, so that is number 4 for you. Number 5 is online tutoring, coaching. There's so many different ways that you can go about this. For me in particular, I do online coaching, right? I coach solopreneurs with respect to their marketing, their business, their mindset. I'm also a consultant, and we'll get into that in just a little bit, but coaching can be done. And I know that my mom in particular, she would teach people math, kids math. So if that's something that you're interested in, I know an aunt who teaches music to her students, and then I know another aunt who teaches yoga, and she does that online as well. So there are different ways that you can go about this, so many different ways with online coaching. It's really whatever it is that you're good at. I actually know someone who we met very recently, and she is actually a solopreneur who teaches music, Carnatic music, which is a form of Indian classical music style. She teaches that online, and she's in India. She's in Bangalore right now, and her clients, her students, I guess I would say, are all in the US. Beautiful, beautiful way of tapping into her natural talent and skill and using that as a way to be on her own, get into the solopreneur world. So these are different ideas that I have for you. I guess one tip that I would give you at this point is find what is your strength, what is your talent, what is your skill, and maybe you can, coach people, because if you are interested in it, I'm pretty sure there are going to be other people who want to learn from you and who want to learn whatever skill sets that you do have. So wide range for this. Understand what are your strengths, and then get into how you can online. And of course, it doesn't have to be in person. Like I told you, my aunt who does yoga, completely online. You would not even expect that from something that is like a physical form, right? But she does it. She does it so well. And then music also online. Anything can be done online actually today. I think post the pandemic, everybody's just so open to online and being in the online space. So I gotta say, make use of that, okay? So that would be number 5 for you, online tutoring. Number 6, handmade crafts. I have a friend personally who designs jewelry. She sells them on Etsy. She makes keychains, so on and so forth. Again, wide range of items that you can do on Etsy, even on other platforms. You can even set up your own website and sell handmade crafts completely online. You don't have to have an in-person store for that, all right? Again, that would be your skill and your talent coming into place. Then we have number 7, baking. You can sell it locally. You can start off small. You don't have to start off with a big inventory. You can start off small and just sell it online. And then as you start building your clientele, then you can expand your business. But again, when you start with this, especially, I think every business idea, to be honest with you, you can start small, especially when it comes to digital entrepreneurship. Can start small and then get money from your clientele or your customers, and then grow it as it comes. So you don't have to start big. You don't have to worry about having a huge investment, especially when it comes to digital entrepreneurship. I believe that to be one of the pros, all right? So sell locally first, sell to your own friends and family, and then as you sort of build, I guess I would say, the financial aspects of your business, then grow your business to bigger. So baking is one of them. I personally know a dear friend of mine. She is an online baker. I hope that's a term. Basically, she sells her cupcakes, her plum cakes. Her plum cakes are very famous, and she sells them online, and she also has online courses for baking. So that would come under online coaching as well. Then number 8 is consulting. Okay, so basically you just get on as a consultant, whatever it is that is your skill, your talent, give advice, give strategies. Consulting, wide range. I'm a marketing strategy consultant. You can be anything you wish to be, anything that you are an expert in. All right. So I'm not going to delve too much into that because that's very common, I guess I would say. But one thing that's important for that is establishing yourself as an expert. That is very, very important. Okay. When you want to do online tutoring, online coaching, or consulting, you have to establish yourself as an expert. That's one of the key things. All right. So that was number 8 for you. Number 9 is ebook publishing, which is something that I've also done. I have planners, journals, and trackers that I've put on Amazon. Ebook, basically, okay, those are not ebooks in particular, but I also do have an ebook version of my 2 books. So maybe if there's a topic that you really are knowledgeable about or you want to share your thoughts about, absolutely go ahead. And as an extension of ebook publishing, I would also say just book publishing, publishing your own planners, journals, and trackers. There are many, I guess it's a print-on-demand publishing companies out there that you don't really have to invest to get it published. But what happens is that when they get an order from your customer, they take a section of that cut. So that model exists right now today in the publishing world. So you don't really have to invest upfront and you get paid over time, and then you can reinvest that to other areas of your business to grow in the publishing aspect. All right, so that is a very, very good idea that I personally have taken up. I've done a lot in the last 4 years, I've got to say. And I think one thing about digital entrepreneurship is there are just no borders. You could just do anything and everything, and it's just the barriers to entry in digital entrepreneurship is very, very low. And I think we as people who are interested in entrepreneurship, or we have that innate entrepreneurial spirit, I think, because that cannot be taught. That's just a very innate thing that I personally believe. Anyway, so people like us who've got the entrepreneurial spirit, the barriers to entry are very low for digital entrepreneurship. And I think we should take advantage of that, right? All right, so that is number 9 for you. Then we come to number 10, digital products on Etsy. You can actually check out my Etsy page. The link is in the description box below. I've got a number of digital products like digital planners, journals, trackers. What else? I even have courses, digital courses that I sell. I have content ideas that I sell for, business owners and entrepreneurs, so on and so forth. There is limitless possibilities of digital products that you can sell. You can even design it on Canva. I personally design it both on Canva as well as Illustrator. Works anyway with you. And that would take a little bit of a learning curve, like figuring out things on Canva. But there are tons of YouTube videos on that. All right, so get started and then start posting. Again, there is little to no investment. Maybe you need like the $10 monthly subscription, or I think it's 12 now, $12 monthly subscription to Canva. Again, very, very low budget that you can start with. All right. So what I would suggest at this point, and this is what I did when I first started out, is go on Etsy, search the digital products that are already available, see what you can do, see how you can bring your personal touch, or you can do something that's a complementary product to whatever is existing. So limitless possibilities for digital products on Etsy. Then we come to number 11, which is language translation or language services. Now, as an extension of this, I know that there are a lot of companies out there that are looking for people who can speak very well. And so if there's a particular language that you are very fluent in, you can actually offer your voice as the ads or, the services where they require speaking, so on and so forth. So it can be language translation, it can be language services as well. And people actually do earn quite a bit in that field as well. So you could be the voice for their ads, so on and so forth. And I know that one of the biggest things that I see often, like when I speak to solopreneurs, is, okay, well, I'm not so fluent in one language, but I gotta say, you will be fluent in one language at least, right? So tap into that. It's not necessarily that you have to go for a language that is predominant. You can go for even your own native language. There is demand for it. So you can definitely offer up your services for that. You can also, as an extension, people who have published their books, they are looking for people who can, I don't know how to say, I kind of blanking out at the moment, but hold on, let me get what I want to say. This happens. Okay, basically what I want to try to say is, so for my book 0 to 4 Figures, at some point I'm going to create the audio version of it, so I'm going to be the one speaking. But if I weren't so confident about me speaking, or if I wanted it to be in a particular way, a particular I guess I would say a particular voice, then I would hire someone. So those services are also in demand, especially for authors, because there are people out there who are looking for people who can speak in a particular language very well. And probably at some point, if I want to have an audiobook in a particular language, yeah, I would probably hire somebody who can speak that language very fluently, and then get my book translated, and then they create the audiobook out of it. So that also could be something that you would want to look into. All right, so that is number 11 for you. Number 12 is dog walking, pet sitting. Again, you can set up your own online website for it. You can even start an Instagram page where you teach pet owners how to train their dogs, so on and so forth, or give them tips about how to take care of their dog, and then build your following that way, build your clientele, go nearby to people who have dogs, offer up your services. That would be a little bit more in person, but you can absolutely set this up online. I know somebody personally, they are not a dog walker, but they actually have a completely online based business where they teach pet owners how to train their dog, and in particular how to train aggressive dogs. And I say aggressive in quotes because the way that she puts it, it's all about how you manage that particular moment, how you manage the dog and their moods and their temperament, so on and so forth. All right, so that could be something that you would look into. Again, very, very low budget to start with. You can just start a page and then give out tips that you personally know about dogs and what helps you. Maybe you can even give out some tips on how to take care, pet grooming, so on and so forth. Build that client base, and then of course people who are following you will be people who have dogs, right? Yes. So then you just reach out to them, ask them, well, are you looking for dog walking services or pet sitting services, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's one way that you could go about it. Then we come to 13, which is online courses. All right, numerous ways that you can go about this. Basically, figure out an area that you are an expert in, that you are passionate about, that you have a very good skill set in, and teach that. Create videos out of it and put them out there. And you don't even need an expensive camera, so on and so forth. And for example, if you really want a good quality video, there are places where you can rent out cameras by the hour, and then just rent it out, shoot those videos, and then of course you have to probably learn a little bit of editing. There are free softwares for that, just to do a basic editing. Create a course, go ahead with it. Another simpler way that I can think about is shoot your entire class on Zoom and hit that screen record, put it out there. I've also done this during the initial stages when I didn't have much money to afford a camera, because I got this only I think 6 months in. But during the first 6 months, all I did was just go on Zoom, hit the screen record myself, and that's it. Okay, and then those also did very well in the course, like the tribe that I did have at that point in time. So yeah, a lot of low budget ways that you can go about this, and then as you make money, you can of course reinvest that to buy a camera, to so on and so forth. But to begin with, let me tell you, content matters, the quality of your content, but when you're starting out, I think it's not necessary to go overboard with the investment, all right? Especially in these kinds of cases, because people, in my experience, people focus on the content and they're more about absorbing what you do have to say. So when you start out, yeah, that's something that you can say, all right, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So that is 13 for you. Number 14 is event planning. And this, of course, it can be in person, but what I'm talking about, because we're talking about digital entrepreneurship, is virtual. There are companies that are looking for people who can set up virtual seminars, virtual workshops, manage the back end part of it. Then a few of the things that I've written over here is some companies are looking for people who can manage remote team building exercises and venue tours, online venue tours, so on and so forth. So that is something that you can look into. Of course, event planning can also be done in person, but it can also be done online as well. All right, so it's important to understand that. Again, build your following, maybe keep reaching out. I think in this case, cold emailing or reaching out to companies that have frequent parties, frequent events, frequent seminars. Just reach out to them, ask them, are you looking for someone who can help you manage the back end? Okay, so that is 14 for you, event planning, and this would be in particular online event planning. Then 15, stock photos, videos, freelance photography. I've actually dabbled a little bit towards, I think this was last year, where I had a bunch of beautiful photos and videos of New Zealand, in my tour in New Zealand, so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, what do I do with all of this? I just put them on a website. I forgot which one it was, but I put them all there, and then I said, okay, you know what? Whoever wants to buy, they can buy. And to be honest with you, Canva also allows you to put up pictures for their stock. Yeah, and you get paid for that as well. So I've also put it up on Canva. I think it was like Stock Pics or something. I forgot the name of wherever I put it the second. But yeah, if you have beautiful photos, or if you have a knack for photography, this might be actually something that you get into. And people are looking, especially like YouTubers like me, we are looking for videos of normal activities like people talking, people getting angry, so on and so forth. So what you can do is go on Canva, try to see the videos that they do have in their stock, and see if you can recreate like a different version of it. Or sometimes, I want something in a particular way, like I want someone angry, I want someone happy, so on and so forth. Maybe you could try different versions of that. So freelance photography, uploading stock photos and videos, a really good space for you to be in if that's where your interest is. All right, so that's 15 for you. We're halfway through. Let's get through this. Okay. Then we have 16. You can buy and resell items on eBay, FB Marketplace. I actually have not exactly a friend, I guess I would say an acquaintance. He's an uncle. He's pretty old. I think he's like 50s. And what he does is he actually buys items and then he just resells them on Facebook Marketplace. He resells them to people he knows, so on and so forth. So that, again, age is no limit. That's all I want to say at this point. And he basically does everything online. Of course, there are some times where he sends us like WhatsApp images of like, do you want this? That's also online, I guess I would say. But he also does it in person, but you can completely take this online. All right, so buy and resell items on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Of course, please make sure that it aligns with the legal restrictions depending on wherever you are at. All right, keep that in mind. Then we have 17, which is interior designing services. As an extension of that, I guess I would say home decor consultations. This can be done online. I am not kidding. I actually know someone, she's an in-person interior designer, but she also does online consultations as well. Feel free to hop into that if you've done an interior design course and you've got those skills, or you just have a very, very natural knack of home decor. Get into this space. I actually, the first person who I talked to about digital entrepreneurship 4 years ago, yeah, she was actually an online interior designer. And so yeah, this was just something that randomly came into my mind right now. That's also something that you can get into. Then we come to 18, which is homemade beauty products. You can sell soaps, you can, I'm kind of spacing out, but maybe you can have like face washes, so many different ways that you can go about it. Of course, please make sure that they are safe for use, so on and so forth. But this is a space that you can get into and you can make it purely online. I actually know someone in my colony who sells homemade soaps. So that was why the idea came to my mind, and that was the first thing. So people are looking, there is a space where there is an audience looking for organic stuff, homemade stuff, where there's not much chemicals that can be a hindrance to them, so on and so forth. So you could get into that space and make it purely online. You can start something like maybe start an Instagram page, or you can even have a YouTube page where you talk about the benefits of being organic or whatever it is that you are into. Whoops, hold on. So sorry. My camera I completely forgot that it stops at the 30-minute mark. And then it just went, so I have no idea where we stopped, but I'm guessing it was at the homemade beauty products. So what I was saying is that you can start a YouTube page where you talk about the nutrients that you use for your beauty products, how they're helpful, so on and so forth, and then just build your page, build your clientele that way. You can make this completely online, all right? Then we come to 19, candles. Make candles for people. I have an 8-year-old niece who's actually just started her own candle making business. I thought that was fantastic. I am in such awe, and I gotta say, again, age is absolutely no limit when it comes to digital entrepreneurship. So hers is completely online. You can also start that. There are many tutorials on YouTube that teach you how to make candles and how to add flavors to candles, so on and so forth. That's a little bit of a learning, because you've got to learn the technique. But again, very, very low budget that you can start with. Then we come to 20, which is what is that? Gardening tips and advice, because there are a lot of people, my sister included, I gotta tell you, who are looking for advice when it comes to gardening, when it comes to her plants. She has so many of them, and she's always on the internet looking for advice, looking for people who can help her with tips and tricks with gardening and planning and potting her plants. I'm not into all that, so I don't know the exact terminologies, but I did think of my sister, and I was like, yeah, she actually looks for a lot of people for their advice and so on. So what you can do is start your own online gardening consultations. Again, I guess that would come under consulting, but this is more in particular where you first off, establish yourself as an expert on plants and gardening, so on and so forth. Maybe you show your own garden and how you garden, and then you gain a following, and then at some point people will reach out to you for tips and advice. I have an aunt who is very into gardening, and there was a time when I did post about this basil plant that I have. I named it Pinocchio, and it just died. It just died on me, or at least I thought it did, because all of the leaves fell. And then because she's such an expert in gardening, she gave me a few tips to cut off the top and so on and so forth, and I thought that was amazing. And you can actually make like a career out of it, like a business out of it, because there are people like me who have absolutely no idea what to do with their plants, and you can just help us out. So that's also a very good idea that you can get into. Then there is 21, where it's a meal plan service or catering service, or you can even go as consultation for their meal prep, so on and so forth. But in this tip, I think what I want to be leaning towards is meal planning service. You can absolutely start that. There are already many online meal planning services that I've seen around me, and there are so many people with specific diet requirements. So what I would suggest at this point is look at the very, very particular kind of diets and see if you can cater to that. All right. So of course, this is going to need a little bit of technical knowledge with respect to food and nutrients, so on, food technology as well, so on and so forth. But yeah, a little bit of a learning curve, I guess I would say over there. But what I would in particular say is look for segments that are not being reached at this moment in time. Of course, right now we have vegan, keto, so on and so forth, but there are more people, like maybe people with specific dietary restrictions, so on and so forth. So try to get into a deeper niche in that. I think that would also be helpful. So that would be a good idea for an online business. Then we come to number 22, where you design clothes for people, or you actually act as a personal online shopper. I actually know someone who does this, and she is in Dubai, and she's basically an online lifestyle / personal shopper, where she teaches people how to dress according to their body style. And I thought that was an amazing idea. I'm telling you, I am so mind blown, with all of the solopreneurs and digital entrepreneurs that I've met in the last 4 years. It has been such a beautiful experience, and I'm so grateful for meeting all of these people, because I would never have thought that this could be something that you can do online and create a business out of it. And it's just amazing that I've actually got to personally interact with people who have set up online businesses and had such amazing and distinct ideas to create from scratch, and they've made a name for themselves. Right? So you can be like a personal shopper. So what she does is she gives advice depending on your body type, so on and so forth. She does online consultations. You can absolutely do that if you have a flair for fashion, if you have a flair for, I guess, the different kinds of lifestyle that people want to lead, so on and so forth. And you have a good understanding of people's body types, what suits them, what does not. Absolutely get into this, because there are people looking for that. And as an extension of that, I would also say, makeup advice, so on and so forth. There are a lot of people, me included, we've not been brought up with having knowledge about makeup and so on, and we don't even know where to start. And I would give myself as an example. 4 years ago, I had absolutely no clue how to even put an eyeliner, and of course I self-taught myself, but I would say, even how to begin with makeup, like how to put foundation, those are even small things that I personally didn't know at some point, and it would have been helpful for me to have someone who could have walked me through it, so on and so forth. So again, great idea that you can tap into if those are the areas that your skills are present. Yes, I had actually no idea how I was going to end that sentence until we reached that end of that sentence, but yeah, okay. Good that we did. All right, so that's 22 for you, almost towards the end. 23, tech support. Oh my gosh. All right, so I gotta tell you, this was amazing for me to actually know someone in Malaysia who worked as a tech support for clients in the US. This was just absolutely mind-blowing for me, and he was in securities. All right, so he would help them build firewalls. I don't know much of that, but basically that's what he did tell me at that point in time. And I thought that was fascinating, So if you're somebody who's really into, the technical aspect of things, there are companies looking for you. I gotta tell you that, all right? And you can do this completely online. So this would be a great idea for you. So just be an online tech support. And, even if it's something that I've written over here is when it comes to tech support, you can get into securities. You can just be an online tech admin, so on and so forth. Wherever your skill sets lead you, of course, this is going to take a little bit of a learning time. But, if you've got the interest in it, if you've got a passion for it, let's say go for it. So that's 23 for you. 24 is start an online book club where people have to pay for the membership. So you would actually make this a little bit more elite. You would create a book club. Maybe you can separate it out into different genres and have different people subscribe to different levels of membership depending on what they're interested in. If you are an avid reader, I would say this is a great place for you to begin with, because there are people who are also avid readers who are looking for a community of like-minded people who read the same kind of books, who geek out and nerd out about the same kind of books, because I am, at this moment in time, I'm reading, I'm not reading Percy Jackson, but I'm watching the series that's on Disney. Oh my God, I'm just I'm totally geeking out about it because I did like the books, and now I'm like, okay, I want to talk about the books and I also want to talk about the series, and I'm looking for my own community of people, and there are other people like me who are geeking out about whatever it is that they're interested in. I mean, I geek out about Harry Potter as well. So, and every time I meet somebody who's also equally interested in Harry Potter, it is just amazing, and that connection is just so good. And people like me, we wouldn't mind paying for a monthly membership where we meet people who geek out about the same kind of books. And people who read books, I gotta tell you, yeah, we are very, very passionate about what we read, okay? So you can absolutely tap into that market. So if you too are an avid reader and you want to start a business, something related to your passion, go for this, all right? Then we come to 25, data entry services. This is self-explanatory. There are a lot of companies out there who are looking for people who would just enter their data for them. They've got maybe the analog version, they want it digital. You can absolutely get into this. I'm not going to go too much into that. Then number 26 is reviewing products and services. Oh my God, this is such a huge space. You can set up your own blog for free. There's not even going to be an investment of that, and just start to review products. And over time, you can set up your own affiliate marketing with respect to that. Very, very, at some point, what I want to say is people or companies are going to reach out to you to review their products and services, and they will pay you for that as well. And of course, as an extension, you can do affiliate marketing, okay? Great space for you to be in if you are someone, I wouldn't say opinionated because, that's a bit of a negative connotation to it, but I'm thinking if you are someone who is very passionate about products and services and you are particular about how you want things to be and you have an eye to see what's lacking and what's good, get into this space. Make use of that skill that you have, all right? Which could be annoying at some point because, I'm a little bit like that as well. Like, especially when it comes to food and movies, like there are certain things that I'm very, very particular about. And if you are someone like that, yes, it could be annoying in other aspects of your life, but it can also bring you money. And I would say go for it, okay? So that would be reviewing products and services. And of course, like I gave you the idea, you can also review movies, review books, so on and so forth. Then we come to 27, motivational speaker. If you've been through a lot in your life, if you've had a lot of takeaways from your life, if you are someone who is naturally inspiring, become a motivational speaker. Get onto YouTube. I know so many people personally who, they've had their own personal experiences, personal tragedies, personal traumas that they now use, and they inspire people to just keep moving forward, to overcome their own adversities, so on and so forth. And I would say I dabble a little bit into this with the what's on my mind, and I put myself out there, put my experiences out there, and there is a part of me that has this need to help as many people as I can. And so if you are someone like that and you have that innate feeling to inspire people, to help people not feel the same way as you did at some point, or to help people overcome their own adversities that may resonate with you, get into this space. And more as an extension of that, you could be even like a productivity speaker or someone who can motivate companies' employees. I've actually gone and spoken at a company, I think this was 3 years ago, where I was motivating them towards team building, so on and so forth. So whatever your area of expertise is, or whatever your area of knowledge is, there are companies looking for that. There are people who are looking for how you say things, and they're looking to be inspired by someone like you. All right, so that is something that I would say. So that is number 27 for you. Number 28 would be a rental service. Like, for example, you've got a great camera, you've got few products and services, maybe some stationery. You never know, there could be people in your area who are looking for that. So this could be an online service where you use a delivery service, like people rent it out per hour. It could be something as simple as, just a whiteboard or whatever you have in your house at this moment. You can actually just put it out for rent. Okay, so that would be a rental service. Maybe you have your own bike, so on and so forth. There's so many different ways that you can go about it. There's so many things that you have right now in your own house that you can actually give it out for rent and just create like maybe an online space or put it out on Facebook groups that are around your location. People who are looking for it, they could just rent it for the hour, because especially when it comes to rental service, sometimes people don't really want to buy the product. They just want it for a few hours and it's not worth the investment for them to buy it. So that way you would price your rental services according to their need. Go for it. I think this is a great idea because these are items that are already existing in your house at this moment of time. And over time of building your business, you can always buy things that or products that you think people would be interested to rent, and then so on and so forth. Build your business that way. So that's another good idea to tap into the existing stuff that you already do have. Hold on, I'm running out of battery space on my laptop, but we will get with the remaining 3 that I do have for you in just a little bit. Hold on. Alrighty, back. So we just finished with 28, which was rental service. And then it comes with the next part that I do have is 29, and that is home organization / remote renovation advice. Okay, this is just brilliant because I've actually seen many famous people who do this where they just have an online business. They consult with you online. They teach you how to organize your home specific to what your items in your house is, or you can even give home renovation consultation advice. That's also completely online. Like, of course, you can do this in person, but there are people who might not be in your same country or location who are looking for experts like you. So if you're somebody who is really into organization, you have a knack for it, you have an eye for it, and you also are passionate about home organization, I would say why not tap into that talent that you do have and just create an online business out of that, all right? So that would be number 29 for you. And number 30 is very plain and simple audits, okay? Did I say I had 3 more? Yeah, it's 2 because it was like 29 and 30. I counted 28 also. Anyway, okay, we we kind of went a bit off track over there. But 30 is audits. So many different ways that you can go about this. You can do strategy audits, you can do business audits, you can do marketing audits, Instagram audits. There are numerous ways. Of course, these are the ones that are coming to mind because I've done these. I've done Instagram audits before, and currently I do strategy audits like business audits and also their marketing audits. Yeah, so many different ways that you can go about this, okay? You can audit anything and everything. There are businesses that are looking. So figure out what your area of expertise in, what is it that you have a knack to see what's lacking and possible solutions for it. Go for it, you know? So that is also something like for me in particular, because I'm a business owner and, you know, I've got an MBA, for me, doing a business audit is something that I've actually done in my school. I've been taught. And I also, because as a business owner, I also have done audits for myself. It's something that I can do. I don't do business audits, I actually do marketing audits. But yeah, marketing is because, well, that's something that I'm passionate about and so on and so forth. But part of my marketing audits also does factor in a little bit of their business audit. So that's how I merge my interests. For you, you can do absolutely anything that is your area of expertise. You can do securities audit, you can do financial audit if that is where your expertise is, so on and so forth. There's so many different ways that you can go about it, okay? So that is 30 different ways that I do have for you. And of course, the timestamps are going to be in the description box below if you want to get back to any part of this. But my final thoughts on this, and before we wrap this up, is I just want to reiterate, don't do something because everyone's doing. Do it because you have a genuine passion for it. You feel that it's an area that you can hone your skills in. It's an area that you have an interest in. It's an area that you have a knack for. And I want to reiterate that entrepreneurship is first and foremost making a difference to the people around you. In the 30 ideas that I've given, each and every one is oriented towards helping the people who are around you or who are in need of something to solve whatever problem it is that they have on hand. So that is the core of entrepreneurship. All right, whether it's digital or not, that is the very fundamental of entrepreneurship. So whatever it is that you're thinking, whichever idea that you feel drawn towards, always ask yourself, am I passionate about helping people in this respect or within this area? And if your answer is yes, I would say you're at a very good starting point. All right. Thank you so much for listening all the way up until here. Wow, this was a pretty long episode, but I tried to make it as concise as possible, but 30 items. So it's naturally going to take me time. So if you are interested to catch me on another platform, I'm there on Instagram. I'm there at The Marketing Nomad. I also am the author of 2 books. First book is 0 to 4 Figures. It's there on Amazon. It's got 61 stories and lessons related to my first 3 years of digital entrepreneurship journey. If you are interested in digital entrepreneurship, I would highly recommend my book because it gives you a great starting point. It covers different topics like growth mindset, positive mindset, success mindset, business strategy, marketing, self-love, and relationships as well. Then my second book is a compilation of 1,000 journal prompts related to healing, growth, and self-discovery. It covers topics like inner child healing, manifestation, trauma healing, gratitude, reflection, so on and so forth. And then I also have a series of productivity planners, journals, and trackers. They are called the Simple Series by The Marketing Nomad. All of these are available on Amazon. In my productivity series, there are tons of stuff like 5-day work week planner, 1-page project planner, 24-hour time blocking and tracking planner, so on and so forth. At the moment of publishing this podeo, there are 18 of them available on Amazon. Now, the simplest way to find all of my stuff on Amazon is to search my name. My full name is Prithvi Madhukar, Prithvi space Madhukar. The minute you search my name on Amazon, you'll get an author page for me, and all of my stuff will be available over there for you to see everything, okay? Other than that, well, I'm glad that we had this conversation. I feel like this entire podeo was inspired by so many people, so many amazing solopreneurs who I've seen in the last 4 years, and I'm very grateful that I've got to watch their journey firsthand, and I get to share what's worked for them with you. And of course, we talked about low budget, and I know that especially when I started out, I didn't have a lot of money. I had only worked full-time for a year, and I was like on Long Island, not much of savings that was going on over there. And I put my entire savings. I didn't take any financial help from my parents at that point in time. And, it was just, I started out broke. So I do know that, especially with digital entrepreneurship, it is possible. It is absolutely possible. And I want to inspire more people to, create this kind of a life if that's what they want, where you have the financial freedom, you have the financial independence, and you are, making a difference to the people around you as well. If you've got that entrepreneurial spirit, then I really hope that one of these ideas clicks with you and you actually do what your heart wants you to do, or do whatever it is that you are passionate about. I hope that this video enables you to do that. All right. Thank you so much for listening all the way up until here. I forgot to completely say, if you like this video, do give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube or a YouTube video or a podcast. Other than that, well, if you have any thoughts, if you liked a particular idea, let me know in the comment section below. I'd be so happy to, know your thoughts on this video, as well as which idea inspired you or which idea you are going to get started on. All right, guys, catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, Happy New Year, because the next one's going to be in the new year. And yeah, Happy New Year too. Bye-bye.